and I give the floor to Algeria.
شكرا.
Thank you. We support the statement of Sierra Leone on behalf of African Union and Bahrain on behalf of the Arab group. At the outset, allow me to express our appreciation to co-chairs for the significant efforts you have undertaken, which aim to achieve concrete steps with regards to Security Council reform. These steps are complex, but they are nonetheless inevitable and necessary to enhance the pivotal role of this body, which the international community greatly relies on to achieve the principles and goals of the UN Charter, specifically the most noble goal, which is to maintain international peace and security. We see that this path under your wise leadership is an opportunity to move forward in implementing the recommendations of the Pact for the Future, specifically in relation to Action 40, which calls to intensifying joint efforts within the framework of IGN on Security Council reform as a priority and without delay. As for the matter that we are considering today, which is the working methods of the Security Council, Algeria reiterates that it is necessary to take the necessary measures to make the Council an effective body, to undertake its missions and to improve its performance on the international level. And to do that, its internal mechanisms must be improved to facilitate the process of reaching the necessary consensus and convergence of points of view and consolidating positions regarding many cases in line with international legitimacy and international law, and in a way that reflects the collective will of UN members. This is related to making the work of the Security Council more transparent and effective by improving its working methods in a way that reflects positively on its international role in providing a better performance in maintaining international peace and security, and which enhances its reliability and the trust of states, and at the same time strengthens the assurances of the sense of reassurance among states and peoples to have this body that they can rely on and that can put an end to the violations against their legitimate rights. In this regard, we would like to focus on the following points. First, with regards to enhancing the transparency of the Security Council, we appreciate the efforts undertaken to increase the number of open discussions and media briefings which are unofficial regarding the works of the Security Council. We must also enhance consultation with concerned states and regional organizations and to include them in discussions regarding the matters which are of interest to them at the Security Council. Second, with regards to accountability, we must recall what came in paragraph 3 of Article 24 of the UN Charter, which stipulates that the Security Council should annually and as necessary submit special reports to the General Assembly for their consideration. We find that these reports are the most effective and ideal method through which the Security Council communicates with all member states at the United Nations. And in this vein, we call on the need to have these reports being analytical and comprehensive. Third, the penalties regime is a main tool to enhance the implementation of Security Council resolutions. And the main objective of them is to be preventive, to deter some actions that threaten international peace and security. Therefore, we must implement the penalty system while taking into account the interests of people and the prevailing humanitarian conditions. Achieving a balance between deterrence while reducing the side effects of the sanctions regime is the measure of effectiveness of this sanctions regime. And it has become very important to take into account humanitarian issues when updating and modernizing the sanctions regime. Fourth, in addition to the difference related to veto being exclusively for permanent members, there are other types of differences between the 5 permanent members and the E10. Algeria has sought and continues to seek to narrow this gap between the two groups. These efforts have led to awarding elected members the right to obtain equal and unconditional access to all working documents of Security Council. And this step has led to updating the memo number 507 in December. And this will enhance the transparency and effectiveness of the Security Council. Fifth and last, the issue of the penholder is very important and something that must be considered to make it more transparent and more objective. We cannot continue to accept drafts for resolutions that are subject to the narrow interests of a number of states. And thank you for listening.
أشكر ممثلة الجزائر الموقع
I thank the representative of Algeria for her statement.
Ireland.